Welcome everyone to part 5 of Taiji. Great to have you on the stream, Darkflow, right from the start. We're going to be doing more of these binary puzzles to warm us up, and then we're moving probably straight to the gallery, which I think is our last area to do. Having a few technical difficulties because I'm trying to be a little bit too clever for my own good, potentially. So because I've been doing a lot of recording for YouTube, I've been tinkering around this week with separating out my desktop audio and my microphone audio channels in the in my recorded output, but that seems to have gone a bit of awry for my streaming output. But good thing you were here to be able to let me know, right? So we're gonna make a start on these puzzles because, you know, want to do a few more of these. And we have got 3 pretty interesting ones. Now, we now have 4 height monuments. Oh, it's interesting, isn't it? So before, we were doing 2 bits, and so that's 0, 1, 2, and 3. You've been waiting for this stream. Ah, nice. I've been waiting for this stream as well. So on YouTube, I've been recording Jedi Survivor, which is not a puzzle game. It's actually the first AAA game I've bought in maybe like 5 years. But I'm a massive sucker for Star Wars. I got my Star Wars lava lamp. I got my Star Wars BD-1. I got a whole bunch of Lego over here. So I'm a big sucker for Star Wars. And yeah, Jedi Survivor it's the first AAA game I bought in ages. It had, let's say, a difficult launch, but I finally got round to getting it working about a week ago. A week? Yeah, maybe a week. 4 or 5 days, something like that. So I've been doing a lot of recording on that, and that's been great fun. But this is the first kind of puzzle game I've picked up since I've got that one working. Okay, so before we had 2-bit binary, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2 was white, and 0 and 3 is black. Now it appears we have got these are a 4-bit, yeah, and these are in fact all of the numbers from 1 to 16 in 4-bit binary. Now this would imply that we're going to do 3-bit. Oh, okay. So this would imply that we're going to do 3-bit, although we only have 2 dots still. So what is the middle row? Maybe the middle row is just to confuse us, and we ignore the middle row. Okay, so far so good. Is the middle row just there to confuse us? We'll ignore that, we'll ignore that. No. So that was a 1, 0. 0, 0 will be black. 1, 0. 0, 1. Right, okay. So it's not ignore the middle row. Now, on the other hand, the middle row here was 0s, the middle row here is 1s. Is that going to flip the bits? It does. And now we have this puzzle up here. Now this is very interesting because the fact we've got the 4-bit binaries down here tell me that maybe I'm not doing this the right way, but I reckon there might actually be quite an interesting mathematical equivalence here. But let's have a look. So that's 0, 1, so that'll be white, we're not going to flip the bit. 0, 0 would be black, but we're going to flip the bit because it's a 1. That's going to be white. That's would usually be white, but we're going to flip the bit. This one, black. This one, black, but we're going to flip the bit. And that one, we're not going to flip the bit. Okay. That is going to need, I think, I think I'm actually going to need an explanation of this puzzle then, because I've clearly done that one way by looking at the middle row and flipping the bit. The fact that these 4-bit binary pillars are telling you which ones are white and which ones are black tells me I was probably supposed to do it that way. Do you want an explanation right now? Yes. Let's have an explanation here now, because I'm assuming this is the last of these puzzles now, because this is the extra optional area. Okay. So the 2 dots indicate I'm looking at the top and the bottom line. Since there's 4 digits, we can assume that each dot are made of 2 lines. Since there's 4 digits, we assume each dot is made up of 2 lines. Okay. The bottom dot has its lines flipped and merged with the top's bottom row. The bottom dot has its lines flipped and merged with the top's bottom row. Oh, okay. Okay. That's interesting. I would need to have a real think about how that sort of equivocates to the way that I did it, because that's kind of interesting. Like for this puzzle at the top, it looks like 001. Oh, hang on. Let's go back and compare. So this puzzle at the top, 00, 10011, 010, 101, 1, and then 010, 101. Aha, right. Since the lines are the same, it's equivalent to inverting the bit if there's a 1. Yes, okay. Okay. Fair enough. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Oh, incidentally, one of the things I've also fiddled around with these multi-channel audio outputs and stuff is I have been fiddling around with the bitrate, the streaming bitrate. So if you find it starts getting really laggy, let me know. And we've done that one, haven't we? Yeah. If you find it starts getting really laggy, let me know. Because I think I've gone and set us on to, what am I doing at the moment? 6,000, which is like pretty standard. basically I turned off the basic settings and stuck the advanced settings on to be able to output it into different audio channels. But then the advanced settings totally returned me to like defaults. So yeah. Okay. So we're in the gallery. This is one of the first areas we went to right at the start. What have we learned in terms of how we can tackle this? So we looked at the wine bottles before. That was good. These barrels are probably a clue. These swirls, probably a clue. I reckon almost certainly a clue, really. Let's try and draw the swirl. We're going to go to here. And then down. Oh, no! There we go. So this is like your observation area. Nice. And this last puzzle, I feel like this has got to be something to do with barrels, right? So we've drawn these swirls. We haven't used these coloured bottles at all. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 stacks of barrels. That doesn't equal those. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at a 6 by 2. 6 by 2. How many squares have we got in here? 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, that doesn't really seem to work. We've got broken windows here. I don't think we've used this window here in a clue yet, have we? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seems to fit, although it's 3 wide, but the middle. Oh, it's the other puzzle in the room. Oh, is it this one? Ah, right. Yep. Yeah, okay. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 swirls here. Could it be lamps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we do have 12 lamps. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd be more confident if one was on the wall here, so that they were in 2 rows of 6. And I'm also very much not sure what would count as on and what would count as off there, because they're all on. Okay. We'll come back to that. And in the meantime, let's hit up the gallery. This is definitely like the most abstract of the puzzles, would you say? I have a feeling we tried both of these combinations before. Oh, hang on. We've got a white 3 at the bottom there. Oh man, yeah. This is very abstract. So that could be... This is your favourite zone. Hang on, wait a minute. I thought you said last week that the graveyard was your favourite zone. So we've got this necklace down here. We've got these 3 up here. Like... Oh, hang on. We know that symbol. Oh. No. Right. I think I get it. I think I get it. Right, okay. I think I'm seeing it now. Hang on. I need to move my snipping tool into a place which is not silly. Right, let's start here. And let's move us into puzzle solving mode. These aren't individual dots. That's a 1, and that's a 2, and there's a 3 here, and that's a white 3, and those are black, and that's black. It's using the rules from the other areas in these puzzles. Okay. So... Okay. So it's okay. It means there's a layer. There's just a layer of abstraction here. So we can't make those 3 white, because then that would need to be black, and then if those were all black, then it just wouldn't work. Oh no, it would, because you could make that white and make that black, and then that would work. We've got it. So we've got a 3 here, we've got a 1 here. Are those 1s there and there? Not sure. We've got a 3 here and a 3 here and a 2 here. Okay, so the puzzle looks something like that. Maybe with a couple of ones like that. So okay. So we could draw... We could draw something like that. That would need to then be surrounded like this. This is a 2, that's a 3. That would sort of work. Those two could be combined together to make a 6. You'd probably want those being a black 6. So something like that. And then we make that white, that white. So that's a black 6. That could be like that to turn that into a 3. I feel like I must be missing something because we've sort of got room to spare, but we'll give that a go. We don't usually end up with spare tiles at the end of a puzzle, but we've got that. That's happy times. Okay, next one for us. You would genuinely have no chance in this area at the start of the game. Just absolutely no chance. Okay. What, do you mean to start in the middle here as the weird way to solve the puzzle? So we've got here a... what is the rule that surrounds the flowers? What is the rule that surrounds the flowers? If we go back through our previous notes, what was that rule? Oh, fair enough. Right, okay. The yellow petals were how many of the adjacent squares need to agree with the colour that they are. Yes, okay. Oof, I'm glad I didn't delete my old notes. Right, how many of the adjacent squares need to agree with the colour that they are? Similarly, we've got one petal here and one petal here, right, which means these all have to agree with each other, and that has to agree, and that has to agree. We then also have like a disagreement square here, which means that has to be something different, that has to be something different. Bear in mind these colours along the top and the bottom here are not necessarily correlated with each other. They could be inverted. We've got another disagreement square here. Let's draw it out like that. So we've got a 2 there. We've got a 1 here. I can't remember what that symbol is, because that's not a domino, because dominoes look like that. That could be a binary one, couldn't it? That could be 2 zeros, indicating that it's black. Could be. Okay. So this is a disagreement square, so that would make that white. That makes that black and black. This is a 2 agreement one, so that makes that black. That's a disagreement one, so that's white, black. And in theory, it kind of doesn't matter what the rest of these are. Okay. Yeah, not super sure about that, but no. No, that is not it. Kind of looks like 2 zeros to me. So 2 zeros would certainly make it a black square. There must be something in the picture that I'm kind of missing. Oh, this can only have one agreement. So we could do it that way. Ah, excellent, right, great. Okay. Last one on this corridor. So, fairly self-evident what that one is trying to show. So we've got 3 red diamonds. Is the fact that we have 3 written into each of these corners in some way significant? Because feels like it could be, given that there's no way to pair up an odd number of diamonds. But even if those 3s were significant, they themselves still make it an odd number. So how do you pair up an odd number of diamonds? We will have a think about that as we go to the next puzzle. Okay. Oh right, yes, we thought we'd do okay here, but actually no. We didn't have all of the necessary understandings, did we? So what we have is we've got a diamond here, a diamond here, a diamond here, a diamond here, a 2, a 1, and a 2. And that's it. So these you could actually all join up into one zigzag if you wanted to. Yeah. Oh, it's certainly been a journey. Now here's the thing, we do not want to zigzag them like that, because if we zig, we need to zag. So that... actually no, we can't zig or zag because you'll end up cutting off either that diamond or that diamond. Interesting. So this one, right, absolutely cannot be on its own. Because if it were, then you cut this diamond off. Oh, wait. No, it could. If you do it like that. Like, that's okay. Is it? Right. And then you get a 2 like that. So then that's okay. And then we'll get a 2 here like that, and then, yeah. Alright. That should work. Sweet. Okay. Black squares as its own colour or as empty space. Yeah, what I found myself doing quite a lot, because the squares are, it's more like they're on or off rather than black or white. Because each area actually kind of has its own colour associated with it, I think. Certainly, like when I first twigged was around like when we were doing the rods last session, and I was talking about squares being black and white, but actually when you turn them on, they were orange in that area, which is quite obviously neither black nor white. So, yeah, I mean, it's probably well, yeah, just a bit of linguistic laziness on my part rather than anything. I'm assuming this crack is where the line starts here. So I'm going to do something along these lines. Great. And this one, yeah, it's orange, right? So that it almost indicates to you that this is like a rods problem, which we can see from the picture now. I mean, it's it's very funny. Like I like how Matthew has incorporated the clues into the art, right? It's like, oh, it's a picture of roads. Oh, just a casual kind of diamond here and here. But no, it's not. Now this is interesting, actually, right? So, literally the point I just made about this being an orange canvas, rather than it being black on white. Maybe I take back what I said, that actually each area has its own colour scheme. Maybe it's only the rods that have their own colour scheme. Which kind of begs the question, why, actually? But could not tell you offhand. Right. Thankfully, we also have handy check marks on the picture itself, which is nice. So that helps us center these. Yeah, this would actually be kind of hard to draw if you were literally freehanding it, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think that's just there, and there. And then we have a white diamond here. Oh man, this puzzle's pretty gross. And yellow diamond there. Oh, I forgot to switch the view. There we go. Okay, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to grab a copy of that. And I'm literally just going to paste it next to it. So this is actually the puzzle. Maybe. Distilled version of the puzzle. Assuming that none of these other lines are anything. But I think this is like the distilled version of the puzzle. Right, okay, and I can tell immediately that there's something up with the diamonds which I've forgotten about. Because how can you have a single diamond that sits on its own? All of the diamond puzzles I've ever done, they are always paired up. And that's exactly the same problem I'm going to have on those threes. Okay, interesting. Right, so this is the Mondrian here. Big squares are white, little ones are black, maybe? Okay, and the same for the blue ones. Great. I mean, I don't know, I just kind of saw it somehow, you know? Oh, this one's a bit different. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just get lucky and you just kind of, I don't know. Sometimes it's just like apparent. Okay, what gives me pause on this one? We've got this line here on the blue. Not really sure the importance of that, but we've got 2, 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that one's telling me. Except maybe there is only one which doesn't have any. Remember my first visit. Oh god. That was literally like 2 months ago nearly. Did I do something on my first visit? I didn't solve this puzzle on my first visit for sure. I got a couple of these other ones. Oh, hang on. Wait. Oh, we do have this puzzle here, which is actually more like a... Yes, right. So I remember this one counted, and actually it's down, up, up, down, down, down. And this one is going to be something similar, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to be up, down, up, down, up, down. From the top, you're now going to be going... There's a line on these. There's a line on these. Ah. No. Or maybe there isn't. Maybe there's a line on all of them. Wait, hang on. This is stretching my powers of observation to the maximum, but no, all of these puzzles have a white line at the bottom of them. That's not anything. That's not anything. But it's sort of something. I'm along the right lines. Anyway, right. So this is up, but now we're going the other way. This puzzle has a line on the left and a line at the bottom here. I don't know. I think it's just inverted. So we're going to go with down, up, down, up, down, down, up. And this time we're going to start from this way and we'll go... Okay, I'm genuinely, I'm too old to be twisting my neck like that. That is not what I'm here for. There we go. That's what you want. So it's down, up, down. Ooh. Up, down, up, down. Great. Ah, this one. Oh, wait, okay, so I thought this was going down, up, down, up, down, up. But actually, if you're flipping it round, that's an up from that one's point of view. Then that one's also an up. That one's also an up. And an up, and an up, and an up, and an up. No. Okay. This one also has bars going through the middle of it as well, which is interesting. Okay, what if you were to take the first one, map it over the second one, right? There's 3 rows, so that one's in the top row, that one's in the middle row, that one's in the bottom row. Except because this one's above this one, you actually also invert it. So these two are actually the bottom row, that's still the middle row, and then that's the top row. So that would mean you're going from bottom to top, so it's up, then you're going down, then you're going down again, then you're going up, then you're going down, then you're going up, and then you're going up. Oh man! I felt that that was so close. I felt that that was so close. Okay, hang on, wait. It can't be... Yeah, so this is like bottom row going to the top, so that's up. Then top row going to middle would be down. Middle going to bottom would be down. Bottom going to middle would be up. Bottom going... Middle going to bottom would be down. Bottom going to middle. And then middle going to top. Yeah, okay, right. It's not what I thought then. I mean, as ever, we'll try the inverse of it. Ah, there we go, right. So it's something along those lines, but not for the reasons that I thought it was. So why was it inverted? I have to have a think about that one. This, again, something kind of similar. We're gonna go... Thing is, are we zigzagging down this? Are we going across and the bottom? What's the relevance of these all being in slightly different spots? Because they are. They are all in slightly different spots to each other. If I were to draw it on a grid, it would be like... Because this one is slightly lower than this one. This one... I think this is 1 pixel lower than this. This one's on the same height as this. And this one's lower again. Not sure. Oh! That's yellow, so we can go back to the Mondrian again. So that's 2, 3, and then 1. No. There we go. Okay. I mean, we're doing okay on this area. There's a few that we're not getting, but, you know. Wow, this is trippy. What is this even getting at? Okay. The fact that it separates it into a couple of different colours there could be helpful. Huh. Ah. Yeah, okay. I see it. This is a colour constancy problem, right? This corrugated sheet is illuminated from one side. So actually, the whites on one side look grey, and the greys on the other side look white. So actually, you got something like that. And yeah, okay, similar kind of idea, except now you also have a gradient going through it. Cool, I like it. We'll come back to the corridor in a second. But yeah, it's sort of there, right? It's actually a lot easier when you separate the two colours out like that. Yeah. No, wait, what? Hang on, I've only got 3 columns now. Okay. Okay, this time, yeah, similar idea. This is... I'm genuinely curious about how Matthew tested the accessibility of this puzzle, because the contrast here is definitely pushing the limits of what I can see. Oh no, that's got to be all white. Oh wait, what? Yeah, so I'm pretty sure those two are correct. I'm fairly happy with those. And then that needs to be there. Oh, maybe it's actually that. Nice. Okay. I think we got that. We got there. I mean, to be fair, if you were really struggling with this, you could, if you solved the puzzle, like if you knew what you're looking for, you could export these out and use an eyedropper tool to determine which colours are actually accurate. Shoot. It's got to be pretty close. Okay, I'm happy with the top row. Oh no, that's definitely wrong. It's that. Oh, that's wrong as well. Okay, cool. Right, okay, now we have actually like a gradient passing down the thing, which is pretty cool. So, that I'm pretty happy with. Oh, blimey. Oh, there might be more to this than that, actually. Not sure. Not sure on the second row at all. Third row. I reckon something like that. I have little confidence in that solution. We got a first time chat. Father Dog, hello, how you doing? It says first time chat, but I'm pretty sure you've actually come and joined us before. Your username sounds very familiar to me. In fact, it's so familiar to me, I have a feeling we actually know each other in real life, come to think of it. I have a feeling I actually know you in real life, don't I? This is a tricky puzzle. This one's a tricky one for sure. Okay, let's see what else we have to solve. Oh, we might have done everything else on this floor actually. So in terms of everything we need to light the bonfire, what are we missing? We have a thing going through here, a thing going through here. Oh no, I think that one just opened these doors, did it? So there's definitely something there that we need to power up. It's this little house here. Maybe we have to solve all of these puzzles and we power up the whole house. I mean, just focusing on one side of this at the moment, right? Pretty happy. Ah, that might be white. Then looking down these, fairly happy with those two being white. And then here, I think we're happy with those. Then looking at this side, like maybe that one? Hard to say. Then down here, again, I'm pretty happy with that row. And then we're pretty happy with that row as well. Like maybe those two, but maybe not. Yeah, I definitely would agree with you there. The first line? I don't think so. What do you mean this one down here? Oh, first column. Oh. Oh, right. Okay. No, I do see what you mean. Okay, no, I'll explain what I was thinking. Right, I think I see what you mean, and maybe I'm just thinking about this puzzle incorrectly then. Yeah, I was very much kind of taking it from a, and this is where I get a little bit lost in color theory, right? Because you have value, hue, and saturation. Is that right? So I was thinking that if I take a different color, I was reading these as white. But I see what you're saying now. Yes, you could very much say, well, actually, those are white because they are desaturated, right? They are actually closer to white. So, yeah. I won't consider that a spoiler. Don't worry. I think that's just genuinely me not reading the colours correctly. I really suck at colour theory. It's one of the parts of my experience that I have never got on well with. So it might actually be these then, or something like that, and then maybe something like this, but then the top row is not quite correct, so maybe it's something like that. And then we've got a weird desaturation here as well. Ah, we have Matthew himself in the chat. Hello, hello. How are you doing this week? We are tackling, if you can't obviously tell, the mansion, having done every other area. So this is our victory lap to try and beat the mansion. Then we'll have done all 8 areas, and then maybe we'll finish the game. I guess the week has just started. Yeah. Unless you live in the UK, like me, where we just got a second bank holiday. So that was nice. This area is like unhinged. I love it. It's brilliant. You know, we've had a real kind of, there's been some real sort of flashes of inspiration to get some of these puzzles. Darkflow, genuinely, don't worry about it at all. Don't worry about it at all. I am struggling with the I am struggling a bit with the colour contrast. I mean, yeah, no. I mean unhinged in a you know, in a positive way. Like it's so out there. Experimental, I think, is a really good way of putting it. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at the top row. That, I think I'm happy with. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. On that same basis, I reckon that for the second row, right? No, yes, no, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. On the third row, it kind of depends whether you're expecting the colour constancy to go downwards or across the rows. Maybe we should try and build this up from the bottom. I'm not really sure. From the bottom, you'd say it was something like that for the first row. Maybe. And then the second row, well, you need that and that now. That can stay off. And that's going to be off. And that's going to be off. And you need that one. So then the third row is like, no, that's going to be off. No, 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 no. That's going to be the same as that. That's going to now be on. That's going to be on. This one off. That one off. And I think we're happy with the top row. So it's this second row that's the really difficult one. No, 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 no. We've done this whole floor this time just now. So yeah, all of these other puzzles we've now solved, but we hadn't solved any of these in an earlier pass. So yeah, this second row is definitely the hardest to interpret. I think we're happy with these first two. It's these ones, right? Like maybe that should be actually off. Maybe that one should be off as well. Because look at this. If you look up the row, sorry, up the column. If you look up the column, it's like off, off, on, off, off. But then when you compare that to the other ones in the same row, it's like, no, 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 that's definitely on, because these are a lot darker. Okay, we'll try with that one being off. But if that one's off, then that one's off, right? That one can stay on, because look, it's bloody red. This one, right here, is a totally different colour to everything else in that column. It is the same as this one, though. So what if we try these two being off? Okay, cool. Little bit of trial and error to get there. A little bit of trial and error. But then the best puzzles, I think, are the ones where you can get 90% there and just trial and error. Like, I put this one out on Twitter, actually. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it from the two of you. So we were in an escape room a few weeks ago, and there was a combination lock, which was it was literally one of the really early clues in the thing, and it was 4 numbers for the combination, 4 digits on the combination lock. And looking around the room, we found 3 numbers, and then we brute forced the final number. Is that in the spirit of the escape room? Right? Like, to do it properly, should you find all 4 digits? Or do you only need... I mean, obviously you only need to get the puzzle as far as you can to then brute force the end of it, like if you've understood what the puzzle is asking you to do. But from a philosophical point of view, what would you say? So we've got this one here left. So that's 1 puzzle left here. And then we've got this one here left. Oh, we managed to do that one. Oh, thank God for that. I was not looking forward to coming back to that one. Thankfully we managed to do that one. Okay, we've got that one, and we have this one. So there's 3 puzzles left in this mansion. Oh, and there's 1 other in the outbuilding that we didn't get. Your favourite puzzle in Silent Hill 2 was the one with the keypad where there are just 4 numbers that are clean and you have to brute force it. I kind of like that, right? It depends on the spirit of the thing itself. Darkflow says, well, it's not really in the spirit of a puzzle game, but in an escape room, if you're going to be timed on your ability to solve puzzle and think logically, finding 3 and guessing the 4th is smarter than searching for the 4th. Thank you. Okay. This one here, this is what I'm calling the upsy downsy room, where you're actually, well, I mean, I suppose my mathematician father would probably have called it fences and fence posts, right? Because you're looking at the gap between things. The spirit was verisimilitude, a word criminally underused. You are supposed to feel like you're really just trapped in this room. So it's not in conflict with the narrative that you have to brute force it. Okay. I mean, in a way, I am trapped by my own hubris, in the sense that, you know, I would really love to be able to complete this game having done all of the 8 major areas. I think that would be brilliant. It might not be possible, because, you know, if there's one puzzle that you just can't get... I do like the idea of a puzzle where you just have the numbers which are clean and you just then have to brute force the code. I think when I open up my own escape room, then yes, I think I might literally steal that puzzle. I think if you have a physical escape room rather than, say, a puzzle game, you are less likely to get sued for stealing other people's puzzles. Because it's only people that are physically there that ever see them. So you're definitely less likely to get in trouble, for sure. So we were discussing after this escape room, in the way that guys do when they're having a couple of beers down the pub afterwards, what puzzles would we put into our escape room that we were designing? And we thought that the best one that we came up with, or I thought the one which would be genuinely like the hardest to make sure would work consistently. But if you ever want to fold it into a puzzle game, here's a freebie, right? Would be like a message written on a mirror that you have to like turn the steam on in the shower to see the message. And I think it's an old trope from, like, you know, horror movies or whatever, but I've never seen it done to like reveal a clue in a puzzle. So I thought that was a neat idea for an old trope. Glow-in-the-dark text in Saw, yeah. Saw. So interestingly enough, the escape room that we did was basically a Saw-inspired escape room. It was like a, you know, you're trapped in with a psycho and so on. And yeah, I mean, Saw, in a way, kind of predates escape rooms, doesn't it? But like a lot of the puzzles are very similar. Oh yeah, except for the solution at the end of Saw not actually being a puzzle at all. The solution at the end of Saw 1 is no, there isn't actually a way out of this except what I told you right at the start. So yeah, in that respect, I guess the real puzzle was the friends we made along the way, I suppose. This guy, I'm really struggling to even kind of picture what I'm putting together here, okay? But let me talk you through my thoughts, having stared at it for a bit, right? Oh, yes, in Saw... Yeah, the key was in the drain or something, but... Yeah, but there was no way for them to know that because, like, he was attached to the plug or something. I don't know. To be fair, I think the Saw franchise went a bit wrong when it decided that everything needed to be a plan laid out by Jigsaw. The big mistake they made, I think, was killing off Jigsaw in the second-ish movie, depending on, obviously. So obviously 3 takes place at the same time as 2, and then 4 is like a flashback one, and then 5, I think, is the one which kind of lays out the next step from the beginning of 4, if that's correct. And that all kind of worked, but realistically, they killed off Jigsaw too early in the franchise. There were 2.5 good movies in there. I'd probably agree. Unfortunately, the 2.5 good movies that were in there weren't found within 2.5 of the movies. I think they were found spread across about 8 of the movies. So, yeah. I mean, I think the first 2 were all right. I think the first 2 were all right. After that, it just kind of went a bit mad. Okay, it's this thin line here is what I'm sort of thinking about, because here we had 2 lines, a line this way and a line this way. Now, when you have the boxes on top, it inverts the direction of the line. So the line indicates the top of the puzzle. So when you've got this here, the line is this side. Now this puzzle was a little bit embarrassing. We kind of accidentally solved this one. The line is also on this side. Excuse me. And we have a line on this side. So we're going to try a few different options and just see how we get on with them. Because I don't think I'm going to come to an amazing solution by sort of just looking and thinking at this one. So what I'm going to try, initially at least, I'm going to try and get these sort of matched up here. Because then we do then get a nice up and down, don't we? When we do that. So let's try down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Nice. So I guess sitting and thinking about it for long enough did get us somewhere. So that's cool. Ah, very good. Okay, so floor 3 all done, floor 2 all done. We are 2 puzzles away. 2 puzzles away from having this. Now, what is gonna really throw the brakes on us for these last 2 puzzles? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Do you know what? Like, so I've used Miro for, so I started doing this when I was playing The Witness, and actually back then I did Paint, right? But I've been using Miro for all sorts of games, like Tunic was the most recent one where I used it a lot, And there are some puzzles in Tunic, especially ones which involve taking a picture of a thing, rotating it round, and then, yeah, and it's just, yeah, no. Now, the thing that's throwing me for these last two puzzles is exactly the same thing. We've got diamonds. We have an odd number of diamonds. We have an odd number of diamonds here. And we have single diamonds on their own, here and here. How? Yeah, how? How? We'll just leave it at how, I think. How do you pair up diamonds? You don't use paper, pen or paper, maybe a bit, but not that much. Once you go down that path, you can never go back. And I tell you what, right? A personal account. I am not affiliated with Miro in any way. They do not pay me to advertise their platform at all. But I tell you what, a personal Miro account is free, and I do seem to use it quite a lot. Yeah, both Sensorium and Outer Wilds. Yeah, really great games. Sensorium, really unique idea. You know, I was very skeptical of the you're going to use all five senses. But I thought it translated somewhat well. Okay. Let's have a double check through our notebook, right? Which goes back pretty far. I don't think we've ever seen a puzzle with an odd number. Oh, massive spoilers, incidentally, if you're watching this part of the stream for earlier puzzles. I don't think we've ever seen a rhombus puzzle or a diamond puzzle or whatever we're calling them with an odd number of elements. Yeah, as far as I can tell, as far back as the notebook goes, not been done. And clearly separating them entirely, not going to do anything. I mean, that gives us the best chance, right? If there's a 2 here and there's another one kind of hidden somewhere, somehow. Ah, okay. There are some other puzzles out there that do have an odd number of rhombus elements. Does that mean we're going on an adventure? It might mean we're going on an adventure. We might have to go and check that out. Because I'm not sure the mansion is the best place. Oh, hey, the floors light up. Oh, the basement counts as a floor as well. Okay. They are among the otherwise optional ones. Okay. So there's one more puzzle in the basement. This puzzle here. It's a deceptively simple looking 2x6. The problem is, what does the puzzle relate to? And that is not obvious. Certainly not obvious. It doesn't seem to be related to the windows on the outside, from what I can see. We looked at lamps, we looked at barrels. So there are 12 lamps. But the lamps all look fairly unimportant. Oh, there is a particularly interesting way that these barrels are organised. Perhaps. Because this room is around about the correct proportions for something being 2 by 6. It's more like a 3 by 6 room though, isn't it? But 1, 2, 3. Oh, I feel like it's something, but maybe not, right? Because you've got 1, 2. If you were to split this room in half, you'd have 1, 2 gap, 1 gap, maybe. 1, 2, 3, maybe. So what would it be? Oh, I've forgotten what I've literally forgotten what I already said. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, maybe. Or it could be the inverse. No. Da da da. It's interesting, right? Because you sort of... Oh, it feels like it's really close. I don't think that could count as 2. 1, 2, 3. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. It's a big old pile of barrels, right? So maybe those count as 2. And then you've got... Literally... I should just take a picture of this room. Hang on a second. If I'm going to be sort of just fiddling around with this for a minute, let's just take a picture of that room. So not that either. I don't know. It doesn't quite feel perfect. Like... It's interesting that you could almost divide that room in half, though. Okay, one last thing to try, but rather than that, again, we'll invert it. No, okay, it's not that. So maybe it's nothing to do with the way that these barrels are arranged in this room. The other part that we really haven't used is we haven't used this at all. In any of these puzzles, right? Look, these bottles we used here. We've used the swirls. These bottles here. There's red bottles and green bottles. It would be strange if that was not used at all. It's interesting that at various places there's even numbers of red and green bottles. but really, I don't know. Like, we've got, I don't know, no, that's bizarre. That's bizarre. I don't think it can be this, but why are the red and green bottles here if they're not related to a puzzle at all? Like, why have red or green bottles at all? But I'm struggling to turn that visually into a 6x2 grid. Like at the top here, you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, okay, there's 6 in the central part here. But... Pass. I mean, just sitting counting bottles, you know? Like, what is there not to love about that? Let's go and find some puzzles which have an odd number of things on them. This one would be an interesting shortcut to try and open. So let's give it a go. Now with this puzzle as well, of course, we have the advantage of also knowing that our objective is to try and get a path that we can walk along, right? So a path which uses that black one contiguously. And we can't walk diagonally. Do you know what? I'm gonna reset that, because that's gonna distract me far too much. So that black one has to be part of the solution, so it's going to need to go through this purple. Similarly, this black one also has to be part of the solution, and because it goes through that yellow, congratulations yellow, you have been called upon. So we could probably go along here. That would make a lot of sense because we can't cut these off now, so those two have to pair with each other. That's pretty uncontroversial. So one purple is coming along for the ride, and which one is it going to be? It feels more Matthew for it to be that one, you know, somehow. Although we are going to have a massive problem there, because this guy is going to end up on his own like that, which is actually going to be a big problem for us. So I have a feeling it might need to be, yeah, the Matthew puzzle design. Here's the thing, right? After a while, you start to tune into, or at least I feel like, if it's not too bold a claim to make, you start to tune into what the puzzle designer is trying to tell you. And what Matthew, I feel, is trying to tell me is that these two are not paired with each other. Right? Like, I don't think there's been a single puzzle yet where the solution has involved partnering adjacent squares in that way. If this is the first, fine. And in fairness, there are enough black ones around here that some of these may well end up paired with each other. But it feels more like a solution along these lines is going to be better. Getting this one part of that group, though, tricky without cutting this guy off. But because it's a group rather than a contiguous path, because it's not a walking puzzle, we can do that. That means these are connected, these are connected, these are connected. Now we just have to work on here. This path already includes a whole load of black. That means these have to be connected with each other and these have to be connected with each other. It means that that has to be black. And it means that that has to be black. So, let's start filling in some white squares. If that has to be black and it's not going to connect to here, that's a white square. Similarly, that's definitely a white square, and this one probably doesn't matter. This makes me feel that these could be white quite happily. No. No, those couldn't be white quite happily. This guy is either going to need to partner there or there. And if he partners there, this guy would need to partner here. No, that could work. That could work. If that... No. Not if that's going to include these two. Because you cannot have that be black whilst that's black. You cannot have that be black whilst that's black. So we've got a contradiction. So we step it back. These two probably have to pair with each other. Which means that is white. That also needs to be white. And that probably has to be white. So, I reckon you could do it then either way round. Either that's black, or that ends up black. But I think either of those should be fine. Do. Okay, and then we come down here and we snag that. So that stays black, that's black, those are black. We will do something like that. And that. Oh, wait. There we go. Yeah, shortcut done. But that did not involve any unpaired diamonds, which is sad for us. We've got some flower beds here. Can you? Well, that's pretty handy. I'm now getting very sketchy as to what has and hasn't been answered around here. So we've done this. Looks like we've done all of these. We haven't done this one, but that's not diamonds anyway. Now we're back to where the shortcut was, so we've done all of that. Oh, and we've done these as well. Yeah, I think we're done with this area. Oh. Did we never fill this bit out? Oh, there we go. Had we done all the ones in the middle floor? So the middle floor is here, yes? Oh, well, this is awkward. So, it turns out that maybe there was a rule that we did know, but we forgot. Because maybe it turns out that you can partner up the rhombuses with other elements that share a similar property with them, let's say. Yeah, okay. Cool. Thanks for the hint there, Matthew. That would have been totally missed. Oh, and we also have completed the map now, which is kind of nice. So, let's work our way back to where we were. This is where the speedrunning community really comes into its own, right? Because it's like, you know, no, this is not the way. This is not even remotely the way to get to where you need to go. Incidentally, right, very, very minor point, but I really like the animations on these trees, actually. No other particular comment, just, you know, I like them. By no other particular comment, I sort of mean, you know, I don't have any kind of, you know, wild artistic insight into that. But wait, hang on. So that partners that up. Oh, is the fact that is it the fact that it's called 3 important? No, surely not. No. We haven't had digits be important for ages. Well, at all. So here. So that is just currently on its own, which is not great, but... Okay, I'm missing something else there. Let's go for the harder one. Basically, you just distort them, but then there's a mask that says where they can distort and where they can't, which keeps them from looking like they're just underwater. Ah. Wow. That's cool. It's a neat trick. Yeah, I was watching a little bit of, what was it? Was it Game Maker's Toolkit or was it Yahtzee who was doing... Well, in fairness, no, both of them have done a bit of game development now. And one of them was talking about Flappy Bird and recreating Flappy Bird in Unity. And the sort of insight they had was, rather than make the bird move through a level, you move the level through a stationary bird. And yeah, it's that kind of cool, I don't know, those kind of insights I think are cool and interesting for sure. I've taken a re-screenshot of that one, but I don't think we need to actually, because I think my previous one here is still good. Do you know what? I've not watched any GMTK in ages, but it's a really good channel for sure. Oh, incidentally, if you guys aren't subscribed to my main channel, you definitely should. Well, if you're not subscribing to my YouTube channel, you definitely should anyway. So that's That Design Feel and That Design Feel Gaming. That Design Feel being my main channel. We currently have all of 250 subscribers on there. It's getting, you know, popular. It's not really that popular. But yeah, sometimes I talk about video games on there. Oh, are you a game dev as well, Darkflow? I didn't realise that. I love out of context Matthew VanDevander. I don't really get why you would do that, to be honest, but whatever. That could be a reference to the Flappy Bird level moving through the stationary bird. Could be a reference to watching Game Maker's Toolkit. You know, why would you? Yeah, ideas are real. It's really difficult, yeah, when you feel like you've got a really nice idea for something, and not being able to, you know, I think it's really great that when learning to code to sort of have a particular project to work towards. I tried as kind of like my lockdown hobby to try and learn a little bit of Unity. It's so hard though. It's so hard. Like I got about as far as when it came to sort of needing to find assets and stuff like that, and yeah, like I tried some of the tutorial stuff and got immediately stuck with triggers and such like. What's this game? What's your Matthew, your medium of choice? Are you on Unity? Are you on oh shoot, do you know what? I literally can't remember the big competitor to Unity. The one you have to pay for though. I think it might even just be called Game Maker. Unreal, right. Taiji was made in Unity, okay. Cool. Oh really, his older videos were a bit cringe as a developer. Oh, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. So so my sort of specialist subject is UX, right? And that the main idea for my YouTube channel was to talk about the UX of video games specifically, because I thought it was a topic that hadn't really been discussed at great length. Nowadays, the more modern Game Maker's Toolkit videos, where he talks a lot about He talks about UX, UI quite a bit actually, and accessibility particularly. So that's kind of, sort of filling that topic a bit. But I think video games are a really interesting concept from a software point of view, because they explicitly don't have a goal that you're trying to achieve. Like, whereas when you're using like Excel, or when you're using some kind of business software, or you're using Unity, or you're using Final Cut Pro or DaVinci Resolve to edit your video up or whatever, using the software is not the objective of what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to come up with something out the other end. Whereas video games themselves, they are software, but they're kind of unique software in that you don't produce anything by using them. The experience is all that you get out of it. And so I thought it was kind of interesting that no one really discusses the UX of video games very much. And partly that's because that's just called video game design, right? You are just designing a fun experience to begin with. That was kind of the idea of the channel when I started anyway. It's kind of moved on a little bit since then. Right. Yeah, do you know what? I would agree with that, and I would say that goes beyond the video game development sphere as well, for sure. I see a lot of people on Twitter and Reddit and similar taking very specific design principles from very good apps like Spotify or Stripe or whatever, and they will write a thread saying something like, do you want to have good design? Here are 7 design principles that you can learn from Spotify. And what they will be is some very specific things that Spotify has done for Spotify users, for music streaming specifically, that aren't really principles at all. They're just specific examples of something Spotify has done to meet a user need. But yeah, there's a lot of that out there, I mean, people do take quite specific things and try and turn it into like a generalized rule. Okay. These two have to have these two are going to replicate a pattern with each other. That implies a max width of the pattern of 2 squares. Cool. Now, at least one of them has to envelop this diamond. Okay, cool, fine, yeah. Which means it's going to be this one that envelops the diamond. Because if this moves in this direction, this would have to move in that direction. Yeah? Okay. So far, so good. So that means that needs to tie to here. It could technically go that way, because this could be a white one and this could be a black one. So we can't really say anything about that. Similarly, yeah. What can we surmise about these shapes here? Well, we know that for the slashes, I know that for the slashes, the rotation is enforced, yeah. So we could have something like that, which then rotates into something like that. And then you are actually going to run out of room. So actually rotating it something like that would probably be handier as a starting point. Because you could do that, which is kind of nice. And then that one can't do that anymore. But it could do something like this. Yeah? Now, here's the thing though. If these are white, that means this one's going to have to be black, yeah? But that implies... that that's black. So that could be black. Yeah, no, that could work, right? We could have a white one here. So then black all the way around here. Black here as well. Right? And then that becomes white. Yeah, no. That needs to not be the same as that. Ah, shoot. Felt like we were quite close there, though. It feels really close. You don't like to be too negative. Glad people enjoy it, get something out of it. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I mean, it's a little bit like... I think anything that has mass appeal is going to be quite broad brush in its approach, right? Like, and I think that applies to everything, right? Like, one of my sort of stated goals for my channel is to try not to chase trends, chase the algorithm, and try not to be too interesting. The point of my channel is to try and actually be factually correct in a way that will be somewhat not time bounded, right? Like, I'm trying to create videos that if you go back and you watch my early ones, the production quality is not as good because I was very rough at learning how to actually make videos, so the sound quality is a bit awful, and there's a lot of reshoots and things. But nothing in my early videos have I ever decided yet was factually incorrect, and I try and make them specific enough to be talking about sort of specific things rather than generic rules of thumb. So they're very niche. They don't have wide appeal, but I'm also not really going for wide appeal, really. But I think that's the same with pretty much anything, right? Like, I mean, heck, at the moment I'm reading my way through, I mean, this is the New York Times bestseller, right? And it's a generic management book. It's Grit by Angela Duckworth. It was recommended to me, and it definitely has mass appeal, right? It's quite... I find it has quite broad strokes, fairly generic advice in it, rather than it being a really interesting specific book. Whereas the book that I would recommend as actually having a specific, like really good specific advice is something like Product Mastery, but that is very much not like a self-help management book. That is very specifically how to become a better product manager at a software company specifically, you know. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. So, do you have a YouTube channel as well, then? Because I will check that out. Oh, I've just got a notification. Darkest Dungeon 2 just got released. Ooh, it's tempting. I sunk a lot of hours into Darkest Dungeon, but I never beat it. Okay, it feels like we're very, very close with this puzzle. Yeah? It feels like we're close, but it also feels like we're quite not there. Because if we make all of these black, that's okay, but if these are white... Can we make all of these white? No. Oh, shoot. Did I just lose my internet? No, looks like I'm here. Okay, great. Oh, excellent. Well, I will check that out once I'm done with the game to avoid any spoilers. Right. Yeah, we're going to need to do some rework here. Could we turn these the other way? We could turn these the other way, couldn't we? That would then need to be like that, though. But it's not impossible. The thing is, though, if those are then white still, that still implies that that's black. So, BB, we'll just do X's, X's, X's. Oh, that's a really good question, actually, and it might be spoilery, I'm not sure, but this is something I was talking with Darkflow earlier on in the stream. The rods and the dashes, the dashes and the slashes, why is the background colour for those puzzles orange rather than... Why is it orange on orange rather than black and white? Like, is there a... Is it just to fit the rustic tone of the sort of rusty machinery in that zone? Or is there some other reason? Okay, we make this one black. If that's black, it's going to need to be that one is black, right? And then we do white here, white here, white here. Black here, black here. Then that's... Oh no, because then that needs to be black as well, which is no good. Cannot happen. Okay. More thinking. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, to be fair, it fits the aesthetic of that kind of ruined industrial zone, right? Because it's kind of, yeah, it's a sort of rusty colour. But I think every other zone uses black and white, if I recall correctly. I don't think there are any other zones. Oh, no. The mirror zone. The mirror zone uses blue, which I presume is actually a reference to the witness, because the mirror zone in the witness is blue, I think. Okay, we're happy that that's going to link to that, which means that has to link to this. We're only fairly certain that those need to link together, but if you, like, we're only fairly certain about that link, but if you were to take any link like that and then rotate it, you're going to bump into other things pretty quickly. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have something like that. So realistically, like, we could do that and that. And then that. Is that it? Is that it? I don't think these have to agree with each other on colour either anyway, right? So if you make that black and that black, and you could make that black, and you could make those white, right? And then that's white, 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 black, black, dirt, 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 dirt. Something like that. This might not work because this diamond needs to be in a group of 2. It's worth trying, though. It's worth trying. Something like that. And then you need that. Oh no, that's going to need to be... oh wait, no, but can we get away with that then being black? Only if that's also white. So yeah, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. So a lot of the times you just pick panel colours that felt right and stuck with them. Part of the game that I never did an overall depth pass on. Okay. Just use neutral colours because it was difficult to pick colours that many colours or symbols would read well against. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because you've got to consider the accessibility of it as well, don't you? Like for the witness, there is just the background colour for the puzzle, but for Taiji there's background, a highlight, and a solved colour. Yeah, that's fair enough. Do you know what? I haven't actually at all checked out any of the accessibility options that are available for this game. All of those have to have the symbols on top of them, often compromise the readability in the solved state. Try to keep them as readable as possible. I think that makes perfect sense, really, because you don't really need often to go back and read a puzzle that you've solved before. So, yeah, that should be fine. Okay. I'm pretty sure that this and this and this, I'm pretty sure they can't touch each other, because this diamond is going to demand to only be paired up with two other things. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'm still kind of obsessing over this shape here as being like a thing. So that could be like that. But then you're going to end up with something, well, yeah, something like that. Oh no, but then these are the same. Okay, this is very quickly going to get us back to our first solution, which didn't work. But that is a really nice and somewhat elegant way to arrange those shapes such that they don't touch each other. Okay, then you do have a problem though. So you want these to not touch each other, so you then have the contrary colour all around here. Right, and that one needs to be the contrary colour, as well as that and that, meaning that you're immediately making a shape which is just huge and doesn't, yeah, and isn't going to work for you. This is tough. This is a tough puzzle. I feel like one of my area too hard, please delete. I mean, I love the vote of confidence fully. The implication being that if it's a puzzle that I can't solve, it must therefore be too hard. It feels to me that we could get something like that if we could do something like that. If we do something like that, that's then going to go that way round. But then the best way to do this, that's going to cause a problem with those two clashing, so that's no good. It would need to be that way, but then that can't be the same way, because I'm pretty sure the rods enforce rotation. Pretty sure you cannot have two dashes which orient the same way as each other. Ooh. Do you know what? I might not have drawn any of those up. Okay. Fine. Let's say I'm 30% sure on that now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can have two, which are the same way around. Does that affect how this would go? Then you'd have white here. You could make that black to get white around here. Like, maybe. Because you could do something like that to make that one black. That one can be white, no problem. And that one can be white, no problem. That one you'd probably want to be white anyway, and you're probably looking at doing something like... hang on, which way round would you need it? Oh no, because then we're back to this problem again, aren't we? Yeah, no, that's not going to work. Yeah, clearly not. Okay. Yeah, that's a hard puzzle. That's a hard puzzle. Well, do you know what? We didn't finish all of the dash and slash puzzles in the dash and slash area. We have, however, beaten basically all of these puzzles. This one should be a simpler puzzle. This one should definitely be a simpler one. Like, doing that would make this diamond match with this 3, these 2 diamonds match with each other. Yeah, there's something else that we're missing there. Not just the fact. Something about the 3s themselves, probably. I mean, is it another way of interpreting the domino piece? We haven't seen a numeric 3 in any other puzzles, have we? So... I mean, if it is something like... going back to this this view here. Excuse me. Oh man, I think I'm coming down with a bit of a cough. That's going to be a pain. What if these were instead 3s rather than 3s? Does that change the puzzle at all? Well, 3, 6, 9, 12. There's clearly enough room to get 12 of those in. Could you do it in such a way that pairs those off, though? Well, if you did it that way, there's 6. And you did that. Yeah, no. Not paired off, though, are they? Not paired off. So, scrap that. If you did something like that, that's 6. You pair those 2 up, fine. Then you could give that one a 3 and pair that up in a 3. That's my best guess. That's my best guess. Nice. All right. That is going to be a great point to end the stream for today. We've made brilliant progress in the mansion. If you consider the mansion compared to our other streams, though, right? So, week 1, right? Part 1, we had no bonfires. We were just learning the game, right? Part 2, I think we hit 2 bonfires. Part 3 was 3 bonfires. Part 4, 2 bonfires. Part 5, 0 bonfires. Right? The mansion is out there. It's out there. But we are very close. We've got dashes and rods. We might go back to the dashes and rods area to learn a little bit more about the slashes. And we have one puzzle down here, which is a little 6x2. There are just not that many combinations in a 6x2 puzzle. This is probably what we're going to start on next week. We're 2 puzzles away from having the mansion done. That would be amazing if we can get that done. So come back soon. We will be streaming again next Monday. In the meantime, check out the 2 YouTube channels, That Design Feel Gaming, and yeah, see you guys next week. Bye for now.